Okay, hello folks, and welcome back again. Stage K Lights and Sound back today after a long while with no videos, no nothing. Mainly because I've been very busy with my gaming channel and stuff. But we're back today with a little bit of an update on the Yamaha MG16XU because I got some comments on the last episode about like preamps and stuff. So I'm gonna be explaining all that to you today. So here we are with the mixer in the studio and my headset, my Coke. Now this is what I use in my as my main driver in the studio the day to day, both for gaming and studio. Usually I have a mic on number one here, but that one got broken. So right now I'm just using a USB mic, but I will be getting an Rode NT1A, which is going to be routed back into that channel one. So this board has 16 channels. I think it's 10 physical XLR inputs, and then you have the 10th and 12th channels are these mono left or left right configs here. 3rd and 14th is these two. This is a stereo config only, and also this which is a stereo config only or USB. Both of these two has RCA ins. You can also run the USB cable from the back to run or link to your PC fader. Well, anyway, back to what I was saying before the entire house flew through the roof. Basically, how I have it laid out, I have 3 mics here. I have bass guitar, L guitar left and right, keys right left. Also, one of these channels is used for acoustic if we have acoustic. Drums, DJ, which is usually an aux, phone or MP3 player. And then we have PC, which obviously is the PC feed, effects bus, and 2 groups, vocals and lead instrument. Now, many people get confused about the groups because you see groups 1 through 2 and 3 through 4, but you only have 2 groups sets, 1 through 2 and 3 to 4. And then you think to yourself, well, why is there 4 groups? Well, basically it's because of this right here, because you have 4 group out up here. For example, if you want to run effect or something, so say you combine all of these 3 into bus 1, so then you pull them that way. Then these will be sent to that group out, so then you can send it into, for example, an external compressor or noise gate, something in that matter, and then send that back into eventually another channel and send it out again. That's the main functionality for having those, but I just use these 2 groups as sort of a Vox and lead instrument configuration. So Vox is obviously vocals, so these 3 mics. Lead instrument is guitar and keys. Drums is not a part of that, so drums and bass are running stereo straight out, but L guitar and keys are in the lead instruments. The main master stereo on buttons. So we can start from the top of the board. If I remember right on the specification, these are class D preamps, plus 20 to plus 64 or minus 6 to plus 38, depending if you're using the pad configuration, because there's a 20 dB pad and a 80 Hz high pass until channel 8. Or actually, if you have pad until channel 8, but you have high passes on 9 and 10, if you're using the XLRs. These high passes does not go on the jacks. Channel 1 through 8, single knob compression. Really, like, technically, if you should ask myself. Yeah. So I really like having the functionality to adjust like attack and release and stuff of the compression. So really the only thing I use compression on, I don't have compression on bass at all. Since I'm usually the one doing the bass, and I have a pedal board down here with a dual band compression down there. So I never use compression on the bass. Usually if I have people with their own basses coming in, they usually have an amp or a pedal board themselves. So then they compress everything before it gets sent to from the house. Well, I have a bit of compression on here. This compression is a bit more overkill because I think we had an acoustic on this for a lot long ago. It's no compression because that's compressed from before. No high pass because they can go pretty low. 2-line drum channels, and you may be wondering, well, how do you run an acoustic set? Because I do run acoustic sets in here if I need to. Well, simply explained, is because of this bad boy. This is an I have another video of this up, but this is an try to get a closer picture here for you. This is a Soundcraft EFX12, which I have kick, sub kick, snare top, snare bottom, rack, tom 1-2, floor tom 1-2, hi-hat, ride, crash, and eventual extra cymbal, a aux and a PC in case they want to send audio or backing tracks from stage and forward. I can take that into the drum channel because I basically do not have any EQ on the front. All the EQ for drums are done back here. Right now it's not getting used to anything. I did use channel 1 here a while with the other condenser mic because my 48 volt phantom power adapter, the 18 AC volt adapter got broken. So I had to run it into here, send it by aux, and use the phantom power because I can't use the phantom power on that board when I have other things connected because it's only a one channel enable all phantom power, and then I blew a bass guitar dynamic mic through the roof. So that's for drum mixing. I'll cover this in more detail in another video if anybody wants to see. So here you have a 3-band sweepable mid EQ all the way up to channel 8, and then you have a standard classic British 3-band EQ from channel 9 all the way to 16. Although that 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is mixed together. So you got low ranging from 100, you got mids from -15 to +15, ranging from 200 Hz all the way up to 5K, and then we have the highs, which is 10 kHz all the way across the board, and then you have mids at 2.5K on the 3-point EQs. Now, the aux knobs. The aux knob is basically a way of sending audio pre-fader, which means before the sound is coming through the fader, post-fader, which is after the sound is coming through the fader. Basically explained. Now, there's a button in between here to enable or disable pre-fader. When it's in, it's pre-fader. When it's out, it's post-fader. Basically, it's only these two top knobs which has the post-pre-fader functionality. This one is always, the aux 3 is always going to be post, and you have potentiality to run aux 4. So 4 auxes if you want to, only that 2 will be running in post. But since I use effects, aux 4 is gonna technically be taken up for effects, so I'm only using aux 1 and 2 for monitors. And if I need, I can run 3 as monitor as well, just I will have to tweak it on the way because of the post-fader position. So here up are your 4 auxes, or your 3 physical auxes, and then your 4. Right now these are in 3 and 4, even though I'm not using them right now because this RCA or 1/4 inch stereo link to mini jack went into this Logitech G920 audio USB audio card because when I'm running my other XLR mic into here, I had to run the aux out to it as a post or pre-fader completely, depending. Likely post because I didn't want to send the audio out into the system without it being necessary. Because since this mixer through the USB records, it doesn't record each individual channel. It records all the channel as like a stereo link, but it doesn't count the master. It records them even though the master is down. So the master stereo only counts on the main outputs and the monitors. So then when I had the PC up, obviously they will get echo from the Discord back in, so that's how I had to route it in that instance. So that's the auxes. Then you have your well, pans, obviously an effect. Here's your 3 masters and your 4th aux master if you so decide to use your aux master. monitor, left, center, right. Here's your accent, your pre-accent for effects. I really would like if they had the functionality to change the effect send to post fader, because I really hate it when I send in a certain amount of effects. I want to be able to regulate the effects also going to the monitors via this fader, because some songs require more reverb, other songs require less reverb. And since most of the people I have here want reverb in their mix, I kinda hate having to go up here and sweep these all the time. So that's one thing Yamaha can do something about. Other than that, can continue with the I/O. So your 4 axes up here. Monitor out left right, which is basically for me now just a, this is kind of funny because this is actually an RCA cable. So there's 2 RCA cables going into the Logitech sub down there, and then they're just soldered onto these 2 1/4" jacks. One is actually an TSR jack, but it's soldered into a mono configuration for running my monitor. So those runs through there. Then we have this, which is left right stereo main out. You also have 1/4" jacks if you want to use 1/4" jacks. This is should be C and D on my stage box, yes, and these 2 are A and B. Group out effect switch, so you can actually use your foot with the foot pedal in here to switch the effects on and off if you want to.
Post-production here. The red arrow you see, I forgot to mention that in the video, but that is actually your effect selector, which goes from 1 to, I think it was 24 or something effects. With various effects you can select from using the round knob, and select your intensity with the parameter.
Just gonna try to fold it over, sorry here. Back here, shank. So here's your USB out, and then all the way over down in here you have your power out. And when you get it, it usually has a straight contact, but I don't use that straight end contact because number one, the contact I originally got for this mixer was an UK standard, and well, I live in Europe, so why the hell would I use an UK adapter? First of all. Second of all, the adapter actually out-ampage itself because I was using an outlet with too little ampage. So the 120 volt, 240 volt converter in there went kaboof. Because in the UK, usually you use 120 volt, but here in Norway we have 230/240 volt. So that converter were basically not doing anything. It can in fact take in it can in fact take 240 volt because the transformer is inside of it, so it can take 240, which is probably why they had that transformer there in the first place, because it takes 240 but it has a converter to 240 from 120 if somebody uses this in the UK. So I'm running 240 with a angled connector, because then I can run it down then out so it doesn't poke out the back. This mixer is going to be moved over to a smaller table later when I'm going to upgrade the studio. Otherwise, monitor level. So this is your level going to monitors out, phones out, that's that level. Source select, so you can select between stereo and group. Well, anyway, so here's your source select between stereo and monitor, and here you have to change between group 1 and 2, 3 and 4, so you can listen to these independently. So that's basically a new explanation of mixers. You can mount rails beside here, back rails, if you want to. Back. So as said, that's basically it. If you have any more questions, just post them down below. I'm also going to be doing a studio tour soon because a lot has changed in this studio since last time. So that's basically it for this video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Stay tuned and stay awesome. Stage K out.